Greetings, mortals. I am Matas, the ruler of the underworld, and today we will be reacting to the newest chapter of My Academia, chapter 396, titled Battle Without a Quirk. So yeah, I guess we are, after a long time in this series, finally going to see how this kind of battle really kind of develops. Which I think this has been something that's been a debate for a long time in My Academia about. Alright, should Izuku not have gotten a quirk? Should he, instead of like basically train and just go to that level of power, would make more sense for that? Like, it's one of those debates we always have to have. And whenever there's like a power system in the series and the character's like somehow the only individual that doesn't have it, then yeah. We are going to get a bit of an answer on this topic in this chapter about how exactly it is going to go. And we probably get to see one of the final battles with All For One versus All Might. So get excited! This is probably one of the longest battle. This is probably gonna be like one of the best rematches, at least on the list about from anime. And yeah, let's see. So we first start off with All Might being all stern serious, remembering his past with Night Eye. He's like, it's funny how this almost makes sense, Night Eye, as we have remember the talk they had during the overhaul arc, as Naya screamed at All Might with, "Continue down this path, and you will encounter a villain. What awaits you then is an unspeakable, gruesome death." So yeah, as there we have All Might saying, "A villain," you said. Who would even ever believe this young man was All For One? So yeah, being kind of like you said a villain, which would be by someone else, but a young all for one is just as like a possibility, since you probably will not be able to recognize. Night Eye probably will not be able to recognize him. Although I do have to wonder if he ever even encountered all for one at some point. But regardless, a teenage all for one being that villain is a bit of a weird thing, which might be some unfortunate for people who thought Shiaki was going to kill All Might, but we'll have to wait and see. As then we have All Might saying, if your foresight quirk's prediction still holds true, then this is it. That much is clear. As then we have him standing, getting out of the car, all badass and ready, right? Like where as the wind is blowing his clothes up, away, well, blowing his clothes off. Very dramatic kind of panel, like realistic, but like very dramatic. As then we have a bit of a weird like time. Well, we get a bit of a statement on the time period. I guess kind of explaining why no one was very focused, but it'll be a bit very strict and focused on this type of stuff. I don't know. I feel like I should probably go back a couple of chapters to see exactly what if there was any kind of important details that were hinted at, but I missed. As we have Nera saying 20 minutes before the Toga Twice army fade away. As we have All Might screaming, "I am here!" As All For One is seeing him, and he gets like a happy grin, but also got like a pissed off grin, like, "Yes, you're here to so I can kill you, but you're still in front of me, you fucking bastard!" Like, you can tell that's what he's making up on his face. And then All Might uses his briefcase, which transforms into a power armor, as we get like an Iron Man type of transformation where his like arm becomes a body with armor, his chest gets some armor, his legs become armored, as then we get like masks. As in this mask kind of like in this very unique kind of perspective, as it's also like below this mask he clips, we see like Nana having like a smile on her face. As then we have All Might saying, "Gotta show my mark, right?" As I guess he kept his like bottom part open so he can have a big smile on his face. The All Might smile. As we show All For Ones. As then we see this armor as All Might's there. As he says, "Armored, All Might." As then we see him a bit of his how this looks like, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. Like he was like that we could I want to say this is supposed to be a reference to Iron Man. I feel it's more a reference to Batman because he usually like wore Not all of his, but there are a few times where he wore armors, but they always showed his face, so kind of like a that kind of reference. It's kind of like I want to say it's a Batman and Superman slash Iron Man kind of reference, all put into one. As we have Iron Man there, well, we have All Might there, which is fine. That was something that was foreshadowed because in Gento's arc, I don't remember the name with the Culture Festival arc, I believe it was. All Might reveals that he did use armor at some point, but because of his strength and muscles, he could always end up breaking them. So he never really had an outfit like that being used. But here, because he is quirkless, he can now have it, even if it's not like to its fullest. It's can at least it's reasonably well. As then we have like his design is very over the top armored. Like I mean, I'm sure the anime is gonna make it look better, but here we have like something like pieces of metal keeping the cape on, which makes the cape seem more like it's just entirely built of metal pieces. Then we see like a power, we have like that Iron Man's R reactor kind of area. Then we have like a bit of like extra, something that makes it look a bit of an extra like, piece that makes it, how All Might has like those extra little pieces of hair that's sticking out. That's kind of what he has here. He has a little bit of what he has got. He has like a bit of it extra. Like it's very clear this is supposed to reference his outfits. I want to say his like American outfit, but the one that with cape and all. But the other color scheme, it's kind of different to say. But I feel like that is supposed to be referencing here, as he's all ready for combat. As well as he also has like a few extra kind of shield weapons around him. Using them, those like weird extra weapons around them that are like kind of. They're able to like telekinetically move around. It's like extra defense, extra attack. Like he seems to have something like that around him for usage. As then we have All Might saying, "Roll camera, Hercules!" As then we have the Hercules also transforming as. I'm not sure if that's the AI in Hercules or if that's supposed to be a La Brava, but once someone responds with, "Alright, recording!" As they have All Might saying, "I'll keep you updated on my battle." Tsukauchi, as then we see this screen appearing in front of Tsukauchi as he starts to stare at it, which I do think there was a panel with him reacting to it, but I'm not entirely certain. I mean, it's difficult to really say where the timeline goes whenever we have stuff like this, because I think Tsukauchi reacted very negatively during the Derby fight, and that might be wrong, but I'm not sure if that Derby fight or the time when he was reacting negatively was sometime during those 20 minutes that was mentioned again, like 20 minutes before Twice has disappeared. It's kind of like one of those kind of like one of those things where it's like, are we supposed to be focusing on that battle, or are we supposed to be thinking about a Derby fight? But regardless, we have some random police officer reacting to that footage. It's like a whole power suit and his car the support item. So yeah, like he's definitely armored up all on him. As well, Bob be like, "Did someone say All Might versus All for One?" As then she's like, "Live stream." As then we have one of the police officers be like, I think this is the one who's complaining about her previously. It's like, "Why you little? Not everyone has to go on the internet." True, but this is appropriate. As then we see another police officer be like, "Hey, what's streaming? Is your bunkai?" Since you said this kind of like a bunkai type of way, it's like this is also weird when we have series referencing other anime series in like this kind of very direct way, like her saying live stream in like a bunkai way, and in one character even pointing out it's a bunk is that a bunkai. Makes me wonder if this is like something that the writer did, the manga did because he liked the series, or was it something that Shonen Jump told him reference this series because it's getting anime return. I believe it's the anime has been the Bleach anime has returned for 4 weeks now. Yeah, that's if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's kind of like a weird little thing here where, uh, like it's kind of. So I do have to wonder if this is Koshi or this is Shonen, because I think he's the only one that actually referenced Bleach in this week's chapters. But yeah, anyways, then we have Tsukauchi not focusing on what La Brava is doing. it's like he's like remembering his like conversation with All Might before he left, which I don't think has we've seen it. I think it was just like All Might already leaving when he left. But anyways, afterwards, be like, wait, where are you off to? It's almost like to provide support for all, given the state you're in. As in, Joe's like, given the state you're in now, because I guess he didn't know about the power suit. As if Joe's be like, you, so you've chosen how you'll greet death with a smile on your face. I guess we should add the T to All Might's real name. So yeah, as then we have Tsukauchi Seigo said, like, all tools and gadgets in the world won't matter. A quirkless man could never hope to take on All for One. As then he's like, stop the stream, Aiba. We'll be, all we'll be broadcasting is the brutal death of the former hero, stealing a few minutes of All for One's time to make sure his pupil's fight goes uninterrupted. So it's like he has no confidence in power suits. Which, to be fair, does make sense. That is kind of like the thing that's been in the beginning. Like people who don't have quirks are like not looked down upon like a rights type of thing, but like they're not expected to like be able to be heroes. They generally are not really pleased or anything like that. It's kind of like it's one of those like you prejudice, but it's not like it's more like a verge of low expectations kind of thing. Yeah, like they have lower expectations. They're not exactly expecting. Which does make a bit weird when we have people like Mirio and Sting who clearly have quirk level physical capabilities, but like, alright, someone super strength is gonna be better than someone who's just been physically training his whole life. It's kind of like an unfair thing, fairty in the world, but it makes sense why Tohochi would think that way. It's like, I mean, it's a noble sacrifice, but like, it's just gonna be a brutal death. Like, no one has any confidence in it. Is there All for One looking at him all furiously in that power suit? As All for One just thinks to himself, oh my, the number one roadblock in my life, a toy worth mangling more than any other, delaying my advance, a transparent ploy. You know exactly how this will play out. As if All Might staring at him with a grin, as All for One's like, what? What are you smiling about? As he gets sent right there, and All Might. I guess this is what makes him truly angry now. I guess All Might's the only thing that really pisses him off enough. Kind of makes you again want, which this actually wasn't discussing. Like you would think that All for One would have enough hatred at this point to be able to use All for One, but why would he need a successor if he has so much hatred for All Might? Maybe it's like gonna be a thing that he realized now. He didn't expect All Might to get so angry at him, but regardless, he goes there as we have All Might screaming, Hercules, Rad! As we have Alma again kind of disappearing. I mean, kind of like a shield or kind of like a blockage kind of thing. So All for One's blast kind of like misses it and goes other way, where we see like a bit of a shot. Like it's one of those like you want to show that this isn't like All for One being weaker. It's more that this speaks more to the power of the hero's outfit, or in an outfit in this case, where we see like All for One going to strike, but it's like ricocheted or blocked. I think it would say just ricochet. So it goes around everything else, and then we have like buildings getting cut for like a whole section of the buildings getting kind of destroyed. As then we see like this thing also getting destroyed, but it did its purpose, and while like there's another like backside destruction, like you see buildings crumbling and everything kind of that general area seems to be crumbling and falling apart. We see that Off Might was able to use that armor at least so he could get around that attack and escape and go up in the sky to go more against All for One. As one of the police officers like who's standing there like, he took that and left. We didn't expect him to last one attack. As then we have All Might, All Might's armor speaking, which I guess means that this is an iPod, as Hercule, as we have the AI saying, Hercules' shields depleted by 99%. There will be no second time. So yeah, that was like one time thing. As if All Might screaming, smiling and screaming, works for me! And they have everyone saying, a mad charge, no dodging, his classic style. So basically how he has been fighting him originally, as they have all as if overall again like preparing himself as he also doesn't seem to have his arm back, although maybe it's just like soil generating kind of thing. As all one screams, that only ever worked because you held one fall. Yeah, like a style thing. You have to change. If you want armor, you should have at least change your style. But you didn't. You know, you're gonna be easier. As there we have like a bunch of wires all around him from All Might's gauntlets, as well as a few of those like little things that he was having around him, kind of like also using wires to like kind of entrap All For One. I'm not sure if they're like tying around him because it looks like more they're like going into him, like they pierced his body, but it doesn't matter. It's kind of like if that there's something happens to like Shiraki, he can like generate to any injury from it. As there we have All Might saying Black Whip, Charge Bolt! As then we have like a little electricity coming from there, as then we have all that electricity like being sent to All For One, kind of like a bursting, sent to bursting electricity as well. Like he may regenerate anything, but he still doesn't have like a. I don't think it was. I would say he had like a big defensive kind of physical normal quirk. Like he probably has like quirks that can work for defense, but not something like hardening or steel or something like that. So his body reacts to it as well as the arm that was already kind of destroyed when he sent a blast. And then I have All For One saying, the electric current metal deals with my regen. So, yeah, as it was there, as then we have for All Might preparing himself towards him, as he tells him, as he tells him, wing him in cellophane. As he then smiles and says, ever since your final battle against my master, you've had a habit of kicking fights off with haphazard range attacks. Build up, Sugar Man! As we have like a part of Hercules kind of going on top of that armor he already had to like give him like a little boost. So you see what the point of this armor is, to kind of like build up on all of the Class 1A and kind of reference them in some little ways. I wouldn't be surprised if once this gets a volume, or this chapter specifically, there's gonna be like a page on the after the chapter's gonna be over sometime during that volume where it's gonna be said like, this is what the move is referencing this character, this is what this moves have referenced this Class 1A. Like you get the idea. As then we have All Might's left saying, you love wearing folks down before stealing their quirks. Basically, the reason why he fights this way is because he just likes to, overwhelm you in the beginning, so they're just kind of on their knees and then just steal it. As they have All Might, it's saying, but that approach is meant for fighting those with quirks. So yeah, because again, like quirks thing. As then we have Aiba, we got back to the stations. Aiba is like, you still so gloomy about how this is go, Mr. Cup? This question, because they expected even one attack to be able to remain. As then, no, it seems like All Might's actually, I mean, not saying he has advantage, but he's, holding his own. He's doing better than Gigantomachia, Mount Lady, Inasa, Dark Shadow were all together at the same time with the element of surprise. All Might, like, you could say this is also a bit of an element of surprise, but it's like one of those you underestimating the power level, so it's like not really that big of a surprise. As they were Tsukauchi just staring at us, he's like breathless. As then we have, I think, I'm not sure this is Tsukauchi or my, but one of them is like, after all that I've witnessed from this, but I think Tsukauchi says, after all that I've witnessed from him, I should know the measure of the man who's kept us safe and whole. Basically, like, remember, oh yeah, he would definitely go way beyond. He would definitely go plus ultra, even if he has to be quirkless to do so. As then we have All Might's laughing, and I guess, like, well, not laughing, he's just kind of screaming in top of his lungs, being like, the suit and this car are here to keep me in this fight, if only for a bit. I came up with the specs and put in the sign request. To kind of explain, like, even he's not expecting to win, like, he's completely, like, ready, like, he's gonna acknowledge, like, yeah, I have no way of winning, but all of this I can do against you is still better than most can do. As then we have him saying, back then when you brought yous to the our knees, I had no choice but to take refuge over in the States. I made a friend there, and these are the fruits of that bond. As we see, I believe it's Melissa. I'm not exactly sure. The girl that was uh, in the first My Academia movie, which, funny enough, I think is actually My Academia is actually in a fourth movie. I guess it's gotta be like a bit of a final send off to the series kind of situations. Well, in the anime verse, so it's like I'm pretty sure the movie's gonna come out after the manga itself ends, since it just makes sense. Like, I don't think we're gonna draw the fights between these, like, no-name villains, well, barely named villains, all for one, and Tomo Shiraki to, like, an insane degree, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's kind of like a nice little, but yeah, this kind of reference there, which I do have to wonder how much the anime community knows. Like, but I do believe there's like that marketing team up missions. With one, I haven't read the series, but from a few of the pictures I did see, we actually do have like her being in there and meeting the rest of the Class 1A, or at least a few of the Class 1A, and Hatsume. But like, this is just one of those like weird. But I do have to wonder, like, how many readers of My Academia know who this person is. As there we have All Might screaming, all that I've been blessed with will bear its weight against you. As they would get like a flashback to, I think, when he was like just lose his quirk and he was like trying doing culture festival. All Might, as he says, I'll use this very hand to shape my own fate. Which I'm not. I think that might happen again in the reference. Kind of difficult to say specifically. It could. I'm assuming that's what's here, but it could just be like when he was like first joining. But I think that was what he said to do Deku during the cultural festival. He's like running. As they have all much crying, we've known each other long enough that you should realize something, my dear friend. As then we see a close up of All Might, well, All for One. As we have All Might referencing Izuku with shoot style, smash! And he like kicks with Man's leg All for One a bit, and then does do some damage. As they have All Might screaming, not once in my entire life have I gone into battle expecting to lose. Yeah, I mean, he knows he's gonna lose, but it's like one of those like inspirational words, as he's referring to Tsuga here, being like, do not think I'm not. So, uh, so yeah. I mean, even again, it's like one of those like confident boosts. It's like even if he falls on the camera and worldwide, it's gonna be like one of those. You know what? We have a chance. We can stand. We will fight with all might. It's like one of those kind of moments, like inspire. As like everyone's kind of like questioning what they should do. Like if All Might for one wins, maybe we should try to bother him up. But here it's like, you know what? Like I inspire them so they send more. Which, to be fair, all the big problems have already been kind of taken care of. So I'm not entirely certain. Like maybe you could say maybe you can say like a wrap up, since all the heroes are always kind of out and down, especially the more powerhouses ones. So maybe it's gonna be like one of those things where they met like the ones who are from the weaker part areas are starting to get overwhelmed by the villains, but then like in the last minute, foreign heroes show up. Like let's say Moonfish, I believe it was, has Gaoka Death to Rights, but then like the number one Egypt hero shows up and beats him, or like one of those three super high-ranking escape prisoners has someone down to ride, but then the second best hero from America shows up, beats him, stuff like that. So I'm guessing that's where this is speech from All Might is kind of coming from, and yeah, this is the end of the chapter. Now, considering there's only like 4 chapters up, well, or 3 chapters before the 400 mark, I'm assuming we are either gonna drag this fight out, Black Clover style, obviously, until chapter 400, where All Might may officially fall. Because, it's like this kind of perfect kind of mark. Which, to be fair, maybe what we could be having is like All Might dies and falls, but All for One also falls. It's like one of those, he lasted long enough, so All for One disintegrates. And it's kind of like one of those, like, he goes out very calm, like, no, only a bit more, I just need a bit more time. As he just killed All Might, but it's like, less seconds, dude, you're dying. You're falling, so kind of thing. We'll see on that side if that's gonna happen. It's one of those two. It's either gonna be a victory, it's either gonna be All Might loses and dies on this chapter, or and All For One as well dies because he disappeared because of he bought enough time, or it's gonna be like a thing where he does succeed fully, but it doesn't like matter, like he's on his last leg. So, but he gets help from other countries and heroes. We're gonna see on that front. Like, we might also cut away from it because again we have chapter 397, 398, 399, and then 400. So any one of these I could see going somewhere else or not being entirely focused on this fight. But we're gonna see. But still, it's gonna be like I feel like a bit like we're really building up to this conclusion. I would say now. So yeah, let's hope to see how badass this fight's gonna be between All For One and All Might. So also I feel this might be like one of those like have the classic villain loses to hero thing. If it's gonna be like one of those like last minute victories kind of deals, since like Izuku and Tomoe seem to be going to like a more of a Toga kind of direction, or maybe it's gonna be more like a what big choice does Shiraki have. But yeah, we'll see in this fight. Well, maybe we're even gonna cut the next chapter into the battle between Tomoe and Izuku, but we have to wait and see. So, anyways, I hope you like this chapter reaction. I hope you leave your thoughts on this chapter in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you motos next time. Goodbye.